Good evening, everyone. Merch Hunter Ricky back. Tonight we're going to talk about the biggest changes to the One Piece live action in Season 2. I've been thinking about it more and more lately because, now that they've gotten through all the casting and announcements, soon we're going to start getting little updates on how filming's going, I assume. I don't know when to expect the live action to drop, but I assume the end of 2025, if not early 2026. If it comes earlier, great, But for now, I want to just talk about how the budget for the CGI is going to have to be crazy, right? Or they're going to have to start changing a lot of things. If you were to just count the Devil Fruit users, for example, in the whole entirety of the arcs that will go from Reverse Mountain to Drum Island, that's already way too many, okay? Just in Logetown, right? Just after Logetown. Like that, and Smoker is in Logetown, you know what I mean? Just after that, we have all of, we got Baroque work. So then we have the exploding dude, Mr. Five, and Mrs. Valentine's Day. I think she gets heavy, the Kilo Kilo no Mi. Now, obviously, those two won't be so bad. You'll just have to make the special effects around them okay. I doubt they'll be budget drainers. But what about like Mr. Three? Almost every couple things he does drastically changes the panel that he's in the manga. The first time we see him, Wax House. I guess that one won't be so bad, right? But then how many Wax Luffys can you theoretically and feasibly make? So I feel like that will be the first major change of the live action is Mr. Three's attack patterns. There's no way he's going to have like 100 Luffys, right? And if they do, if they pull that off, that will be amazing. I just assume they'll have to shorten it because Little Garden is, to me, going to be the biggest budget drain. Just in the first few panels alone, I'll start flashing them to my right. Dory and Bragi in front of, Luffy, Vivi, Usopp, Nami, the Going Merry. These are some big dudes. They're giants. Not only that, but we have multiple dinosaur shots up and down. Just the first, 3 panels of Little Garden, or 3 pages. But then we have the flashback, right? The flashback features a whole crew of giants. And obviously, I'm not really worried about the sizing of Dory and Bragi. I'm more so worried about that we will get 4 dinosaurs. And I know that they're not even a focal part of Little Garden. I get it. But throughout all of the paneling of Little Garden, you get a dinosaur just about every page. And will the live action have the budget for that? I'm not too sure. Then again, the final fight of Luffy and Mr. Three is crazy. Bananas bonkers. A lot of things happens. For example, one of the major changes of Season 1 live action, other than the fact that there's an interview that's been revealed that they were severely held back by the writer's strike, so we have to cut back some slack. Apparently, the reason why Luffy beat the crap out of all the villains with 0 resistance is because they didn't have time to put all the footage of him getting wailed on, I guess. And that's okay. Hopefully they have the time now, right? Again, budget draining of Little Garden, dinosaurs. They even have weird raptors and stuff showing up, and they have a weird feathered raptor at some point there too. But the paneling of Little Garden is so beautiful. I hope that they get some really good direct from manga panel. There's a panel of Nami eyeing her log pose. I really hope they get that shot in the live action. Another change to worry about, and I genuinely do mean worry, is a whole story reworking, right? Because there are going to be some things that wholeheartedly change because of time, budget, or CGI constraints, for sure. And that's some of the things that make me worry. What will the Logia look like, right? Will Smoker simply just dissipate and not really do much? Or will he dissipate to dodge attacks, and then when he hits Luffy, he won't be actually smoking it up at all. He'll just hit him with the Sea Prism Jeet, We're gonna get a lot of characters introduced. I think we might even get Hina at some point in this arc, and if not, that's next season. But then we have to talk about Drum Island, right? Because first of all, I haven't even brought up Reverse Mountain and Laboon. That's another one I'm not too worried about it, but there is gonna have to be a give and take because also Karu, that kind of worries me because will he be a CGI duck or will he just be a straight up big bird duck chilling on set, Drum Island though, right? So Dalton, Zoan Fruit, Chopper, Zoan Fruit, the Lapons, they're giant 10-foot tall bunnies. bunny monsters, right? Then Wapol. Everything he does is crazy. A major change alert. I bet Chess and Marimo, they won't be nearly as weird. And if they are, there will be like a reason for it, I hope. For example, Marimo's fighting style, I just don't see that translating to the live action very well. You know, especially because like just in episode 1, right? We're going to have the crazy amount of budget done on Laboon. Then going right to Whiskey Peak, I'm not sure how they're going to make the cactuses come to life and make like that whole area look like that. Moving forward in between arcs, how will they animate Miss All Sunday's Devil Fruit? And then going forward down to Little Garden, the dinosaurs. Oh my God. And then Mr. Three's Devil Fruit. Really crazy stuff. I'm not too worried about the painter. I don't remember her name is Golden Week, perhaps. I'm not too worried about her because that's just colors. You know, worst comes to worst, they literally paint the ground. What happens? You know, get a black blanket for Betrayal Black or whatever the very first one she uses on Luffy is. You know, I'm not worried about that. But then it is like, okay, so there's like 15 Devil Fruit users in Logtown because you got to remember Buggy is a literal cart when we meet him in Logtown. We have to go with Alvida, and luckily they don't really need to use too much budget because the actress, absolutely great transformation. She's lost a lot of weight. Now, regardless if that was for the role or not, everyone should be seeking self-improvement, so good for her. And because of that, she's not going to have to drain budget a lot on her Devil Fruit because they can just make her slippery slidey. That's really, I don't feel like that's going to be a problem, right? But Dragon appears. So there's going to have to be a lot of focus on him too. And these are now a lot of events to get squished in to just probably like 6 or 7 episodes. Plus, they will have to continue to develop Garp and Kobe and Helmeppo. Hopefully they develop them very far in the background because we don't really have time for their shit. And I hate to say it that way, but like, I'm not interested now. I was interested before and I really liked when Kobe came up and offered Usopp help in Syrup Village, but realistically, like, we didn't need that either. And going forward from there, like Arlong versus Luffy, like that can't happen again, right? Go read Arlong versus Luffy. One of the best fights you will read on paper on a manga panel page is Arlong and Luffy. They go blow for blow, pound for pound, blood, tooth, and nail fighting. Luffy, of course, schools the shit out of Arlong in the end, but what it takes to get there is very, very crazy compared to what we got in the live action. And I will get very passionate about this. That last episode is garbage, and I'm sorry. I feel really bad saying that because I like the live action a lot, but now knowing that it was hindered by the live action strike, it is straight trash. Garbage doo-doo. I'm sorry. I did not like the last episode whatsoever. It's very upsetting to see Arlong, a super-powered fishman, like not get a single lick in on Luffy. He did not touch him once. If you go back and look, he pushes Luffy like 2 or 3 times on the ground and goes, "Get up." And that's it. And then he charges Luffy like a big dumb idiot and gets clocked, right? In the manga, it's a little bit different. In the anime, it's a little bit different. There's like a lot more stuff happening there. Like in the live action, he's simply letting Luffy destroy the room. And that's like, I couldn't handle that. Sorry for the rant. But like, that was a massive change. And to think that we won't get massive changes like that again, like they just removed all of the island of rare animals from season 1. And that's fine, you know, Gaimon, not that important. But then you went and you put like 2 cover stories that actually ended up making everything very cohesive, right? So you're gonna have to do that again. Feel me? Now, will we get updates from like the decks of the New Worlds? I don't know, because I haven't checked all the cover stories currently in that, right? So I'll have to go back and do that maybe before I put this video on YouTube, and I'll just write down some cover stories that show up in this arc, or in this string of arcs. But for me, the biggest changes I worry about, the sheer amount of devil fruits in Logtown. Drum Island as a whole, because Chopper, like, I am positive we won't see Dalton change his devil fruit more than 2 times. He does it, I think, maybe 4 times, 6 times max in the manga and anime. I doubt we will get him past 2, right? Because we got Chopper. Then we got Wapol, who is essentially going to be a production nightmare. I genuinely hope Like, the actor who plays him looks like a straight up bastard in a good way. I'm not calling you anything about your personal character. I think you're actually a handsome man, but you look like a straight up bastard, and Wapol is a straight up bastard. So honestly, good on you. I hope genuinely you are the person I look forward to the most, is Wapol's character, because this is the chance to show people the weirdness of the world of One Piece. And what better way to do it than to show them the Munch Munch fruit and the weirdness of it. That's honestly the change I fear the most, because Wapol already gets a bad rap for people who are not caught up, right? If you're not caught up, you don't really care about Wapol, even if you know his secondary story arc after he gets beat by Luffy. I won't spoil it here in case you're just wondering what season 2 is going to expect, right? But because of that, I'm very worried that Wapol won't have as crazy as a devil fruit, and he will be toned down severely, and I'm just hoping not. Also, some things to look forward to. Potential utterlings of the Will of D from Dalton to, or Kureha to Dalton, right? And then potential mutterings of Ace and Blackbeard, because I do believe they show up at the very end of Drum Island. If not, Blackbeard at the beginning mentioned by Dalton and Wapol, and then at the very end, Ace shows up like, I'm looking for Luffy, or something like that, right? I'm trying to remember, but for the most part, I do fear this massive wall that me, a guy who, remember, I'm not a director, a film writer, or a showrunner, so don't take me for gospel. I'm just nervous and going with what we got in season 1, which again, season 1 was okay. Also, sorry to Smoker's actor, Squidward moment, oh no, he's hot, whatever. I said that your hair looks stupid, so if you see this video, I'm sorry, okay? So yeah, anyways, changes, they got me bugging. Can't sleep at night. I'm just kidding. But anyways, have a good night, guys.